Hey y'all, so remember when I posted this? Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all why. First of all, primarily because it reminded me of Kennedy Ryan's book, Real, that was originally released in 2021. This book was not released until this April 2024. Now, Kennedy Ryan is re-releasing her book. Well, it was already re-released on audiobook earlier this year, but the book had already been out, okay? It gave copy the entire script, paste in Chat GPT, and create something similar to it. And by the way, I don't have the physical copy because I listened to it on Audible, which is another reason why I did not completely enjoy the book as much as I would like to. For the record, I read a lot. I prefer physical books. I listen to a lot of audiobooks just because I can multitask and listen to Audible. And I also read books on my phone through the Kindle app. And with Audible, it's tricky because whoever the narrator is helps you get a better feel for the book. Now, I think I still would have felt the same way just because of how the book was written, but the narrator really grinded my gears a lot with this book because I do not feel like when you're speaking from a male perspective that you have to create a deep voice. It is so cringy to me. Like, oh, so I said to Natalie, I've always thought about you. You ain't gotta do that. Like, stop. Just people who read can decipher when it's a different character speaking. You don't have to do that. So anyways, I wrote a list. Okay. Let me rewind. I think the author did a good job capturing the voice of the characters in the book being in their 20s. And I feel like in your 20s, not everyone, but a lot of us were very immature and young-minded and thought about love in a certain light. And the author wrote it from that point of view of a 20-something, which I think was on purpose, right? But I hated it. And it's because I'm older. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe someone younger would love that book. And to that point, the characters in Real are a little bit older. So maybe that's part of the problem. I already said it reminded me of Real. And I'm going to tell you why it reminded me of Real for those of you who didn't read it. Real is a book about a director and an aspiring actress. And the director and the actress meet. The director is creating a film. There's a sick parent that creates motivation. The parent passes away. The same thing happened in When I Think of You. Like, ooh. I'm like, oh, yeah. And I know that people get inspiration from other novels to write their own novels, but it's too much. You took too much. It's a love story, but it's corny. When I Think About You, in my opinion, was corny. All of the one-liners, I'm like, boo, boo, like for real. It was corny because it kind of reminded me, like, if you've read one Colleen Hoover book, you've read all of them with the exception of Verity. Like, I felt like Verity was a standalone book for Colleen Hoover. And I've read like 4 of her books, but 4, 5, 6, whatever. But I started to notice the pattern, right? They're all very cheesy and people like that. You know what I mean? That's you. I don't care for it. It also reminded me of another book that I have. It's the Grip Trilogy, which is also by who? Kennedy Ryan. Hold on. Also by Kennedy Ryan. I'm going to tell you why. There's a black guy, white girl. They get together. They don't initially get together though, because they're both like in the industry, and the black guy has a certain persona to portray. So they get him with another black girl that is up and coming, and they have to jet off to New York for press. That also happens in When I Think About You. I don't even know if I'm saying the title right, but it also there's also a scene, it's not a movie, but there's also a part of the book that's like that. And it's to create tension, right? It's to create drama. Okay, cool. But girl, were you reading her books first? And then you're like, oh, I love that. I'm about to put that in my book. I don't think it's coincidental that the similarities in this one book both came from two different books by the same author. Call it what you want.